Have you heard of mediation? Do you know that your divorce or your conflict or dispute can be resolved by using mediation? Good day, everyone. I'm Forsman, a mediator, accredited with SAM and accredited with the ADR Register International. I have done many cases in the field, especially of family and divorce. You may ask now, what is mediation? Mediation is a process in which a third party that is not related to any of the parties, is totally unbiased, helps those two parties or the parties that are in a dispute or conflict with each other to resolve that conflict through negotiations and discussions so that it can be resolved. Mediation is part and parcel of a system that we call the alternative dispute resolution methods. It speaks to facilitation, mediation, conciliation, arbitration. All of these are part and parcel of ADR, alternative dispute resolution. In the South African context, there is two ways of handling disputes and conflicts. Before I discuss the two in short with you, just this one remark. All of us, no matter who you are, has had a dispute in their lives or a conflict that needed resolving. No one and no person is immune from conflict or a dispute. So how can we resolve the conflicts and the disputes in our lives? We can do it through litigation, where we get our lawyers, each party gets his or her lawyer, and they take the matter to court, and a judge or a magistrate makes a finding, which is binding on the two persons or the two parties. In that process, the litigants, the parties, have very little say in the outcome of that process. And usually you would find a winner and a loser. It's also a very expensive exercise to litigate disputes. On the other hand, you have these alternative dispute resolution methods, of which mediation is perhaps the most used method. Mediation is where there is a third party that is not connected to any other of the parties in the dispute, who is unbiased and helps the two parties to come to an agreement by consultation and communication and conflict resolution. It is a way in which that person, the mediator, facilitates the parties to communicate in a way that they reach a resolve of their conflict. Why use mediation to resolve conflicts? Well, number one, reason I would say is cost effectiveness. It is much more effective, cost-wise, to use mediation. And one big reason for that is that it is also time-saving. Your dispute gets resolved so much quicker through mediation than through litigation. Secondly, it's a confidential process. So the parties have the opportunity to place on the table everything and anything without the fear that whatever they put on the table can later be used against them in a court of law. Where in litigation, everything takes place in open court, and every stranger that sits in that court can hear what is at stake. We don't always want everybody to know what is happening in our lives and what went wrong. So confidentiality is a great plus point when it comes to mediation. It also has the benefit that it brings down the temperature. The parties get the opportunity to really listen to one another, especially if the mediator is well skilled. He will help them to communicate better with one another, to come to some kind of resolution, and help them to really listen to one another's needs, wants, and fears, which does not really happen in litigation. The parties walk away, one a loser, one a winner. But in mediation, there are only winners. Both parties get heard, and the outcome thereof is an outcome that brings a resolve that both feel they have won. Why? Because they have control over the outcome of the mediation, which is not true when you litigate. The outcome is determined by a magistrate or a judge. But in mediation, the outcome, the resolve, is in the hands of the people that mediate with each other. It can be used in virtually every sphere of life. It can be used in workplace and labor matters. It can be used in family and divorce, in property matters, in medical negligence and road accident fund claims. It can happen even in our justice system where there were criminal activities. In a certain sense and in certain cases, it is advisable to follow a process which we call restorative justice. So there, a solution is also reached, and the victim in that case is also part and parcel of the resolution of that particular case. It can be used in commercial issues where big companies need to resolve a conflict between them. So mediation can be used everywhere and anywhere. It can resolve conflicts quick and efficiently. So when you have your next conflict, if you have the next dispute that you find you and the other party just cannot come to a resolution thereof, why not try mediation? Give it a shot. You may be surprised at the outcome. It may be that what is settled between you and the other party is even more than you ever could dream or hope for. Through all the many mediations I have done, I've always had the experience, the afterwards, that these two parties walk away from the process in a better situation, in a better place than they were when they entered the mediation. So give it a go. Thank you very much and take care. Goodbye.